Last one. I promise. Until I make one. You know. I might. I got some ideas. But an old favorite of mine, the Half Orc. It's a power gamer move, I know. They are actually hard to qualify for using 3d6. Because you gotta have a con 13 to be a Half Orc in Dragonslayer. You do get a +1 con and a +1 strength and -2 charisma. Assassin, cleric, fighter, thief. Some standards. So it's tropey. Did lower the lifespan, but you know what? I do remember AD&D Half-Orcs not living as long as people played them. In your multi-year campaign, the Half-Orcs would literally die of old age. Makes those longevity potions really valuable. It doesn't go over them being able to pass for orcs like AD&D did. Only 10% of half-orcs actually looked like your WoW cartoon where, you know, everybody's a hot half-orc. Like, no, you're an ugly, drooling, pig-faced goon. -2 charisma is a big hit, okay? It's another one of those angsty ones, but I don't remember anyone ever playing the half-orc as the teen angst guy. It was always the savage. You knew that player was down to party. I played a half-orc fighter thief. Or I played a half-orc fighter, or a fighter assassin. Fighter assassin still works pretty good. You only have to use the assassin weapons, which are a decent assortment of weapons and crap armor. But they tend to dress and act like the culture they're raised in, right? They can't be barbarian, and barbarian is an option in here. I'm very surprised by that. There'll be a lot of upset people that you can't play a half-orc barbarian until you house rule it yourself and you make it work. Otherwise, 40 feet, 60 foot dark vision. That is the demi-human go-to. Unless you're short, then it's 20 foot. They gave him tracking. I don't know how I feel about that, but I could understand it. It's like having a truffle pig in your party. They went this way, boss. Why? He farted 15 minutes ago. They got a little bit of a snout. There's no other reasoning for it to be outdoors. Otherwise, you wouldn't pay a half-orc fighter or assassin that can actually track outdoors. Their thief skill assortment is average. Nothing amazing. They start with common and orc. Most orcs, 25% of creatures you encounter in a tribe are going to speak common anyway. So common and orcish are their starting languages, and you can add on to it. And they start young, 15 to 16 plus a drop of a D4. They only live to be 50. So watch out for those aging effects that are out there in the game, because technically, after several years of adventuring and meeting one or two of those kind of creatures, your half-orcs are all dead forever. Oopsie! Bob the Orc bit it. See, you don't live that long. 50. This is on average. So you can adjust that on the fly a little bit as a DM. I'd recommend having some reasoning behind it. Your orc lives to be 70 years old. Why? Why are you different? Why are you special? I'm a player character. Don't kill me with aging. I like playing half-orcs. I've played several over the years, and I've always enjoyed playing a kind of a douchey half-orc or trying to prove themselves. And you have people who do that, and I think that's the modern 5e trope, right? I'm the half-orc paladin. No, you're not. Half-orcs can't be paladins. You can play a lawful good human fighter and act like you're a paladin. We know you're not. So, but class, race restrictions are a thing in old school gaming, right? You may not like it, deal with it. You can play plenty of other games out there. I like half-orcs because they can When it comes to faction play and you're fighting a bunch of orcs, the half orcs can actually blend in a little bit. They know they're half orcs, but if they got half orcs in their tribe, you know, usually if the half orc's in a tribe and he doesn't get murdered when he's young, he's going to be the guy in charge when he gets older because he can level. And the half orc chieftains, 5 hit die is tough, but once you got a 5th level fighter and a 5 hit die monster, we all know who's going to win. We all know what's going to go down. And I mean, in the cartoon, Zarak was a pretty good representation of a half orc, in my opinion. A half orc assassin that worked for the bad guys. You never saw heroic half orc cartoons. You didn't hear any heroic half orcs referenced in the game from the tables of Gygax and them. There was Quaj, who was a retainer for oh, it's went blank. Big Bad Fighter. Anyway. And I think a few other characters use orcish mercenaries a lot. You think they're rough on your men-at-arms from town, let your players get some orcish mercenaries. They are fully disposable then. And a half-orc would be someone who could command the respect of, I'd say, like orcish mercenaries or goblins, and you could use those as cannon fodder for your dungeon explorations. It's hard to explain why the paladin and them are working out with these evil creatures, right? But a half-orc, even if he's good, will be perceived as evil. Double-edged sword there, right? Not as bad as a halfling, a tiefling. Not as bad as a tiefling. Should be able to get in towns, in my opinion. That's it. We're done with races, and that means I'm going to start talking about classes very soon. Maybe not today, since it's about time for me to start prepping dinner. So tomorrow, I'm going to make a video about the cleric, what they changed in Dragonslayer, and what I don't like. Later.